just kicking back, man, at shows. That's really dope. That's a good feeling right there.
It really was, because the first time I actually ran into you was at the Afro show.
Afro,
Yeah, and you even like DJ'd for like 2 or 3 people on there, but then you had like your own maybe 15 to 20 minutes of just like straight just like rocking the turntables, and I knew that I was like, okay, like this is what I really missed out on, like from like it's a generational thing where you kind of wish you were born back like 10 years or 20 years, and when you were playing like Who Shot You like in the middle of your set, I was like, no way, like I never thought something like this can still hit like nowadays. And yeah, I was like right there at the bar just singing every freaking word, and like all the transitions and different choices of music that you chose to go with was like really crazy.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I do remember that show. That was a dope show. I think that was in Hollywood, and might have been. Yeah, I think Talib Kweli also performed that night.
No, not that one.
Not that one.
What's it called? It was that. I think it was actually. It was that song. I just knew that Afro was headlining. I just can't remember exactly which one. What city it was in. Actually, it was in Orange County. It was Westminster at the Blue Oyster or something like that, or something.
Yeah, the Blue Oyster Lounge. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember seeing you like rocking it from there, but now I'm just kind of curious. I've always wanted to ask you about how long have you been into DJing and such?
DJing, I started DJing officially, got my first pair of turntables. I was still in high school. I want to say I was probably, it was 1998, man, 98, 99. I think 11th grade or 12th grade for sure. Like, I was probably about to be a senior. So it was like definitely 1998 or 99. I got my first pair of turntables. There was some new marks. Brought them from my homie. He was like, dude, like, I think this would be really dope. I've always been into music and hip hop before the turntables and all that. I really wanted to be a MC. I wanted to be a rapper. I used to write rhymes, man, and like freestyle, like hella freestyle. Before I even thought about like really, I'm gonna be a DJ. Like, I used to write a bunch of rhymes. I was in little rap groups. Like, I would be the one rapping during, homeroom or lunch, whatever it was. I'd be the one battling people growing up, and like that was really what I was into. Like you said, like sometimes there was periods of time, man, when I first heard like LL Cool J or like NWA, man, or even like even further on to Wu-Tang and Snoop Dogg and all that. I was like, wow, like this is what I want to do. Like I feel this, and then growing up, like that's what I did. I always loved music. I was always interested in DJing. I remember going to the parties and the quinceañeras and seeing the guys rock. I would love to dance, man, and seeing DJs just playing, everybody dancing. So I always had a love for that, man. And once I got my turntables, I knew, man, like I was like, wow, this is it. So I stayed with my new marks, like my beginner turntables, for maybe like about a year. And I was working at the time in Mission Hills in some parking job, and I managed to save up. Man, I saved up my checks, and then like within a year, I bought my first Technique, and then like the second year, like I waited, man, I just couldn't get everything at once. It was a lot. Then the second year, I got my second Technique. So then by then, I had the 2 Techniques, which are these right here. I got behind me. I've been having those since like 2000, maybe, man, like 99 or 2000, and I just fell in love with it, man. Going out buying the records. At the time, there was no laptops, so like, 98, 99, I would really go out and just digging for records, whether it was new stuff or old stuff, and then playing, at first I would scratch a lot. Like, that was my thing. I was like, dude, I want to be the scratch DJ, Mixmaster Mike, DJ Qbert, and, Rock Raider and all of them, and I would really practice on that, and then I got the notion. I was like, wait, like, that's cool, but I also enjoy seeing people dance. I love making people dance. I love seeing, like, I like to go out and dance. And when you go to a party and, like you said, DJ's just rocking it, and like whether it's like dancing or at a hip hop show and he's just playing the joints, like I was like, yeah, I know I could do that. So I started practicing on that a lot more, started learning how to blend, how to juggle, and this was way before the laptop days, and just watching VHS videos on some of the people I idolized, like the ones I just mentioned, and Beat Junkies, a lot of the Beat Junkies guys. It just really fascinated me, and I fell in love with it, dude. Like, ever since, I remember my first party was at my homie's birthday. his backyard. I brought my home speakers. I didn't have like no like equipment, legit equipment, but I had my techniques in a crate, and it was his birthday party, man. His backyard was popping, dude. Like I've seen a lot of people from Hollywood High. I've seen a lot of people I went to school and like neighbors. It was just crazy to see everybody in the backyard. And they were like, "Oh, dude, you're DJing!" Like, wow. And I was playing cool joints, but like the guy told me his name is Daniel. He told me, like, dude, like, you got all the underground joints we love the Wu-Tang and all that, but he's like, man, you gotta have shit too that makes people dance, you know. I want people to dance, so we gotta hear like, you know, the shit that was going on the radio at the time, just dance music. So I was like, all right, cool. I went back home, and I really took that. I'll never forget that in my life, man. I forever remember when he told me that. And sure enough, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I started ciphering out the difference, you know, from playing underground joints for like hip hop shows where people, you know, they love hip hop, underground hip hop, and then making people dance, whether it's playing old school funk, you know what the family loves, they like the old school funk, Zap Roger and all that stuff.
Exactly, that's where I could depend it on right there. I went to the '80s club over there in Fullerton. Doll was actually there last time. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, dude, she was killing it. She was like all like dancing like nonstop, and we're listening to like 80s like rock music, you know, like we're not even listening to any like dance music, right, like that, you know what I mean? And so when she was like setting it off, dude, like everybody's, you know, because we had a big family group there, and like little by little everybody started like getting into it, and like Doll like kind of kicked it off for everybody. So that's why that's why I was like, you know, man, like I can always like depend on her if she needs to like liven up a place. Like she was crazy that night. Yeah, that was fun.
That's why I love her, man. Like, yeah, she definitely like sets it off, man. Especially if it's like anything like really 80s and like just good music, man. She'll set off the vibe. If people are just kind of standing, she'll be like, man, all right, dude, like let's set this off. Like she'll start dancing, and people are like, all right, you know, it takes one person, and then everybody goes on it, and then it's like contagious. Like you see one person, and you're like, all right, I want to do it, and then the DJ feels like he's like, man, they're dancing, so. Yeah. He's giving it more, and then it's like a give and take. You know, everybody's giving it the energy back and forth. So that's Doll, man. Like we've been to spots where like we like going out, and the DJ sometimes will be cool. You know, it's like all right, cool. And then once he starts getting it, like boom, she starts setting it off. Then it's popping. You know, then it'll be popping.
Yeah, that's why, man. Like, and I could totally believe it too. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how it is when you're the one in choice of making of putting out the music to the parties and such.
Yeah.
So, you know, I could definitely understand where you're coming from, trying to decide, all right, do I just put on this like this gin and juice type record right here, or do I throw like a little like bring the ruckus? You know, you have to you have to really kind of balance it too, especially if you're presenting to like a crowd that knows both, but you have to kind of feel the energy out in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's a good point you're making right there, because you know you could DJ, you could play music, but I think one thing definitely DJs should definitely like, and not anybody could just do it. It's like something like you naturally have is read out the crowd, man. Like if you step in the spot, you just kind of cipher everybody. I'm like, all right, you know, yeah, like this person likes Wu-Tang, but that person likes like Ludacris or whatever it is, man, Lil Wayne, whatever it is, you know, or old school, and then you just have to somehow figure it out how you can make everything mash without like throwing everybody off at the same time. You know, I think the best way I always said it is like you put together an essay, like you'll start building it, you know, you build your first paragraph, you know, like boom, and then you kind of like give them hints of everything you're going to do, and then you start building it, boom, you really start getting into, you know, like breaking it down, each paragraph on this, and then the second one's going to be that, and then like at the end, for me, like when I'm about to wrap it up, I'm like, okay, cool, I got so time left. You start wrapping it up, dude. You just start hitting them, but try not to throw everybody off from the flow. It's a flow. It's just a flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, how do you transition from like performing live to doing your radio show with KPFK?
KPFK Breakbeats and Rhymes. I just know, like, with Breakbeats and Rhymes, it's really dope. I get to get loose and, like, play, like, a lot of underground stuff, or not even necessarily underground, anything that's hip-hop that's really good, you know? And what I mean by hip-hop, it'll be a lot more independent, a lot more stuff that isn't usually played on the radio. Like, we won't play Ludacris there. We won't play Lil Wayne. We're not going to play, you know, if we play something like Jay-Z, it's going to be something, like, from his first album, you know? But then we'll play, like, new stuff too. Like we'll definitely play like Vince Staples, you know, Joey Badass or Pusha T. Like, we could take it there, you know, cool.
Yeah.
So when there I go with that mentality, it's like, all right, this is underground. This is like what I first fell in love with. So I treat that like, you know, it's me. Like, I know what I play. It's going to be good. It's going to be comfortable. And the listeners, hopefully, they'll feel the same way about it. I know my crew, big up Chetty, MP, and Esco, you know, like, I feel the same way. Like, they'll feel it. And if they don't, they would be the ones that tell me. But, you know, that's like Breakbeats and Rhymes. That's the station, the radio station, which is not like I said, it's not going to be like stuff on K-Day. You might throw in a Tribe Called Quest song in there, you know, but you won't hear what you usually hear all the time on the radio stuff, for sure. We like to take it back, keep it classic, and then we like to play the new stuff too. Like, yeah, we'll play Kendrick Lamar, we'll play, you know, Nipsey Hussle, we'll play all the good stuff, man. Like, you know, the guys have played some stuff that that is coming out that I haven't even heard yet, and so that's that, man. And then then it's the party stuff. Like, I've done parties before I've gone to Breakbeats and Rhymes, man. Like, I've done like full on like. One of my homegirls had a birthday party for her husband. It was full on like radio stuff, like 80s, just like all the new stuff, like everything new, top 40s, you know? And then like from then on, it was like boom, like, all right, I'm going to Breakbeats and Rhymes. That was that. Now I'm ready to rock underground independent music artists, you know, Planet Asia, like Supreme Cerebral, like, you know, even the new guys like West Side Gun and all them, and the Griselda records, and just flipping it on them, man. It's just, I think to be a DJ, if you're good at one thing, that's great. But if you're great at a lot of the like different genres, it's going to separate you from a lot of other people, you know. And I always wanted to be that person. Like, you could throw me in whatever ocean you want, dude. Like, I'm gonna blend in and I'm gonna swim my way through there, like, no matter what. And that's how I feel. Like, whatever crowd I'm in front of, I'm definitely gonna like try to figure it out and like get through it and make sure everybody has a great time. So when they leave, they're gonna be like, damn, like, Luman, all right, dope. Like, we're gonna look out for him next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, how do you like balance the two, or like, what are your thoughts compared from the new age now compared to like the golden era?
It's tough. Like, sometimes I think there's so much new stuff coming out right now, like, consistently, you know. So sometimes it's hard to keep up. Like, really, like, if I don't know, we're talking about like radio top 40 stuff, like right now, like, you know, Power 106 and like 92.3 and like all those new radio stuff right now being played. Drake and whatever it is, man, Meek Mill, 2 Chainz, whatever it is, you know, I think it's dope. It's fun, man. It's really fun to see people just vibe off of that and like really get off, let loose at the clubs and like seeing them dance and whatever, you know, just having fun. And then where the golden era is, like, sometimes I get stuck. I'm like, you know, sometimes I get stuck there because that's what I grew up on. That's what I love playing. I have a lot of fun playing that too. That's like a comfort zone almost, you know. And I definitely try to like nowadays try to like not get too comfortable with that where like I depend on it, because I definitely want to be relevant to playing new stuff too. Like, I don't only want to be known like, oh, Luman is stuck in the 90s. I mean, I am, because to me that was the golden era. That's what I grew up on. That's when I started DJing. That's what it was. But I also want to be known as, man, you get Luman like at the club, and he knows how to spin all the top 40 stuff, like all the new stuff, all the new bangers, all the trap stuff, whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's not hard to separate it. Ultimately, my love is for like the golden era of the 90s, and like once again, like how we mentioned, like sometimes there's even the 80s stuff where I'm like, man, like I look at some of the older like guys that come up to me like, man, you know about that, you know, and I'm like, hell yeah, like, you know, I grew up on that, but I wish I could have been there when like it came out and been maybe like a teenager already, like when it came out, you know?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Old school stuff like the 80s, like how you said, like the stuff they played in Fullerton, like my older aunts, when they would babysit me, that's what they would listen to. So I caught on to it. I'm like, cool. Like, I remember them taking care of me and babysitting me, and that's what they would bump. You know, that's what they would listen to, so it stuck on to me, you know, and I love that stuff. It's fun, dude. Like, you can never go wrong with the classics, like anything. You can never go wrong with the classics, you know. It's like, for sure, you know, you're going to hit them in the head with it. They're going to love it. But you also got to take gamble with new stuff and the top 40s and not be scared, you know, like, no matter what people say. I mean, people are going to talk, you know, mess or sometimes be like, you sell out, all that's whack, or that's crap. It's like, yeah, you know what? But I'm the DJ. I'm the one having fun. And if people are having fun, why not, man? And if it's some money in it too, like, hey, man, even better, dude. Like, why not, man? I don't want to be, like I said, stuck in the box with, like, oh, man, Luman's just, nah, man. Like, I love playing 80s. I love playing funk. Like, if I could play a Spanish set, like, cool. Like, it's just being all around, though. Like, I think that's the main thing. Like, you want to be that dude, like, or that DJ that just is well-rounded and stuff. And no disrespect to people who are really good at one, because the DJs that are really good at one thing, like, you can't touch them, man, because that's what they mastered. They mastered that one thing, genre, or whether it's strictly scratching. Like, there's dudes out there, like, their scratches are insane, man, and I can't even fade them. I'm not gonna lie, but
that's how it is. Like, that sometimes you'll have that's when the McGregor and Mayweather went at it. You have a UFC fighter step into the boxing ring only. So it's like you can't. There's no grappling. It's like having a battle rapper like Rum Nitty going against like Drake in a song making competition. Like Rum Nitty is like an insane lyricist and an insane battle rapper. Probably the best right now for me. But he cannot make a song like Drake, or he can't make a song like Kendrick or Cole. Like he'll lose all of them. But if they were to be brought into the battle rap ring, dude, their careers would end instantly. These guys are too like too creative and too everywhere with anything that they do. So that's why it's like, so I get you when you talk about those scratchers compared to like a regular party